Right. There you go.
Ready, kids? Yes, welcome to Behind the Bar podcast, brought to you today with Coach Shan, Coach Sarah, Coach Emily. Hi, everybody. So, today, it was, wasn't it? So today, this episode is all about influence. Every single one of us has been shaped daily by who we follow, what we watch, what we listen to, and what we read. There's a saying we love: you are who you watch. And whether we realize it or not, the content we consume slowly becomes the lens we see the world through. So today's episode has two goals. First, we want to properly introduce Emily, our newest coach at our Sunderland unit, talk about her journey, her background, and why she chose coaching. And second, we want to go a bit deeper into how influence works, the positives, the negatives, the rabbit holes we can fall into, and how to be more intentional about what and who we're letting shape us. Fucking hell. Where? I can never say that one when it's a comma in it. That's why I'm good at coaching. We'll go deep, but keep it light, honest but fun, and hopefully leave you thinking a bit more about what's showing up on your screen every single day. So for anyone who doesn't know yet, who the fuck is Emily?
Hello. I'm a new coach at Sunderland. I've been in the industry for about 5-6 years, but been doing PT for about 1.5 years. So only really new at this side of it, but the nutrition side of it I've been doing for a little bit longer. So that's the summary. But otherwise, I train in the gym. I love training. I generally just love being around people. That's like probably the biggest thing about me. I love being around family, friends, enjoying like the little things. But yeah, kind of a very brief summary.
I mean, yes. What's your background before coaching, or is that school?
Well, yeah, going back like 7 years ago. But I used to do like a bit of marketing and like branding, so like for businesses. So I was working at Team RH Fitness, doing like the social media side of that, so helping out with like the social content. We were doing like a little podcast before I'd left, but mainly like the brand side of stuff, so what it looks like from the outside for people looking in. So delving into kind of like the inner message of the business and what we wanted to like deliver through content, so more on the strategy side of stuff in that. And then I took the plunge in doing my PT qualification about 1.5 years ago, and then got into a gym, I think it was October last year, and then obviously started here October this year.
Oh, mint.
Yeah.
Why coaching? What made you want to do this?
I've always had a passion about helping people since I was quite young. Like, I think my mum, the way she's brought us up, she's very, like, care about people, like, try and, like, have influence on other people's lives and, like, see how we can, like, help it, like, anyone. So I've always wanted to do that, and I've always found an interest in, like, doing the gym and, like, training and stuff like that. And I think I just naturally fell into it. But the main passion comes from wanting to actually help people in any way that I can, really.
So you've been with us 2 months now. Is it 2 months?
Just over
Yeah. What surprised you most so far?
Ooh. Yeah, like I think from the outside, like it does look really professional. Like it is. It is. But like when you actually get in it, like it's just like laid back and everyone's like lovely, like just like a little family. Like not as what I thought it would be from like the way social media looks. I don't know. You do capture it through some of the like behind the scenes side of stuff, but I think like really laid back compared to what I thought.
Do you want to add anything to that, Mrs. Thompson? No, I don't know.
Because I remember obviously when I first got involved, I found you, it was on Ben Coomer's website, there was only like 2 gyms around here, and I thought you looked dead professional in your little polo shirt and all that. Fucking how long was that?
Still here 11, 12 years later down the aren't you? Yeah, I mean... See, I wish I could portray that more, though.
I get that.
Yeah. I think I wish I could portray that more in a way. Or it's a nice surprise when people come here.
I think it's a nice surprise. I think the thing is we're professional in the sense that we all get the job done, but we are like a family unit. We have fun. Didn't like all the businessy stuff was boring anyway.
Yeah. I just like to have fun. Yeah.
It's
it
like
is.
people are always shocked when they meet me. I'll never forget Stephen Rutter saying, like, I was all polite on the phone, like, do 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 do. He says, you've got a phone voice. And then it was like 3 days later, it was like, fuck off.
So what's been easier than you expected and what's been harder?
I would say like fitting in's been easier because I feel like everyone's like so different, but like yet you can like actually like fit in, not a problem. Like everyone like you can get along with and have that banter and stuff. Hardest, I actually don't know. I don't actually know at this point.
I mean, you've went from like, oh no, you were doing a bit group stuff, weren't you?
I was doing a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was doing like 2 a week, same
Right.
sort of thing, like 8, like in a little session.
Uh-huh.
So similar, but that I only started maybe July, so I've only still been like new at that side of stuff. So I suppose yeah, like actually like having that confidence in front of like that many people, probably yeah, that's been the challenge. But I think it's just like a process, isn't it? Like you just every time you do it, you're like building that confidence up. But yeah.
How's your plate math been?
That is, yeah.
Because I always find that is one of the things like for new coaches, especially with us where we coach like obviously not 1-to-1. I think that's always a struggle for people like plate math.
Ask Johnny Searle. I'm
Okay.
sure I put an extra 5 kilo on his bench press. He did it. He did it. But yeah, that is a challenge, especially when you're doing it for like multiple people. Yeah.
No one does my plate trick. Sorry. No one does my plate trick. Can you remember? Like when I used to coach, I'd literally have them wrote out in order, but I would have the plates in order, 2 lines down either side of the rack.
So do we.
You do.
Well, it depends how busy.
Well, so the plates are always away, or just in a heap when I come in.
What does a normal day as a coach look for you right now?
Obviously mornings I'm doing the 6, 7, 8. So I get up at 4 o'clock purely because I like
You
having
messaged me
an
at
hour.
4:15 the other morning or something. I was like, Jesus, you beat me up.
Yeah, purely I like to have that hour before I like leave.
Her face.
I get my coffee, I get myself like mentally ready for the day, have some time to like do my journaling and stuff like that, and then get myself ready, leave, do my coaching hours. Through the day, I'll tend to do PT around like the little sessions that we do. But through the day, I try and actually be like more present for myself because I think it's important to have the balance between like the coaching and actually having time for yourself. So I'll go to the gym myself and then do like any little bits that I need to do, and then it's back doing the evening ones, which at the minute I'm doing 5:30 and 6:30, and then I do PT sometimes after that as well. So yeah. Yeah. Sleep's not being the best at the minute. I was having like a little nap because I didn't think I was going to, but everyone was telling us how they all have naps through the day. And then I tried it, and I think I did that for about 2 weeks straight every day. And then I've not been able to keep the naps up for the last few weeks. But sleep, I'd get about 5 hours in, 5, 6 hours.
Like, I get a full 2 hours.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
I know.
Remember to pass the mics if we speak. Yeah. Or grab the mics.
I know, but like that's just blown my mind. 5 hours sleep, that's definitely not enough. What would you tell a client who was on
What would you tell Ross?
The thing is, though, with sleep, it's individual, though, isn't it? Like some people can feel great on 6 hours.
Yeah,
Like it's
but on a sub level, you know, the body's not enjoying 5 hours sleep. The brain isn't.
5 probably extra.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Ross.
Yeah, do you know how it is? I actually sleep more than that. I sleep more than you. No, it just doesn't appear on my watch because I'm not dead in a sleep. It thinks I'm dead, so it doesn't class as sleep. What moment made you think, so this is obviously joining us, yeah, I'm glad I chose this.
Oh, I think it was quite early on, you know.
If you have chose it yet.
I have. off. Don't worry. It was quite early on. I think it was genuinely just the feel and like how welcomed I felt like in the first few, well, like still do now, but like in the first few weeks, like initially, like genuinely just how nice everyone is, like even like clients like yourselves. I just felt comfortable in the environment, which I think I struggle to like find environments that I feel comfortable in. So like to feel that so quick, I was like, yeah, this is right.
What's the most nerve-wracking moment so far?
Oh, Johnny Searle didn't put the clip on his squat and the plate started to come off and I just seen it happen. Yeah, that happened.
Did they actually all come off?
So there was two 20s either side. One of the 20s come off and he had to like balance it on one side, and then Nick jumped up because he was on the leg press next to it, and then I like went in and then we helped him get the other side up, and then he was all right after that. But that was a nerve-wracking situation.
So to all coaches out there, use the clips.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
What's something you're already more confident with than when you started?
Like actually just starting conversations with people, and I know that's like a really basic one, but like not having the nerves to just like ask people how like things are going, like actually have a bit of, like personal interactions with people, because I feel like I've got that level with everyone now where I can like just have that conversation with them and know a little bit more about like them as a person. Obviously that's just a process, isn't it? But I feel more confident in doing that now than what I was when I first started.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's once you've like had, I mean, God, even if you think of just like a week with them, that's 4 hours you've spent with that person, and you know them by then. The next week, yeah, all right, you dafty.
Yeah.
That was the quickest intro to Emily, wasn't it, ever? Quickest Welcome Coach podcast. Segment 3, transition, where influence starts. Most of our confidence, beliefs and expectations don't come from nowhere. They come from what we're consuming. So this is obviously for everybody. When you think back... actually, no, this is for Emily still. Bastard. Okay. When you think back, who were the biggest influences that made you want to be a coach?
I would say my sister. That's the first one that comes to mind. She's been in the industry herself for quite a while. She was like part owner for Team RH. But like I've been around her for like a majority of my life since I was like 11 when she started like doing this side of stuff. So I've watched her like do all her like live videos and stuff like that, and seen like the impact it had on the people that was like following along with her journey. And like I just seen all of that, and it made that feeling in my heart of what I wanted to do and helping people like kind of like spike, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would say she's definitely been a massive influence in getting into this. I can't think of anyone else really. I would say it's mainly her.
Well, it's mad because were you behind the camera when she did the COVID stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
Some of them.
COVID steps one's what Castor was jumping about to when he was not even 1. Yeah. So Emily was behind the camera on that. And it was actually at that moment in time, obviously people didn't know that little thing, and like your sister's personality was like that nice, bouncy, happy, and yeah, they were really nice actually. Were there people you followed or watched that made coaching feel possible?
I actually don't know, you know. I don't feel like there's anyone that comes to mind. I don't know. I don't feel like there is anyone.
Did you follow anybody else like within the fitness industry?
Like bigger people. I've always liked Lucy Davis, Gymshark athlete.
Lucy
Don't know
Davis,
if
I've
you
heard of
know.
her.
But the way like she puts her message across, I've always loved that. I don't think she does like the coaching itself anymore, but she used to quite a while back. But like I loved the message she put out there. But I don't actually feel like there's anyone who's made it feel like it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Like Arnie.
Yeah.
No, like that. Born in the wrong era. Do you think confidence is something we build or something we borrow at first?
Combination of the two. I think sometimes you do need to like somewhat mask the confidence, if that's the right way of putting it. Like kind of build that persona that you put out there, being confident even if you're not, and it naturally then builds. So like they both tie in together quite nicely. So I think sometimes like in situations like when I first started here, I didn't feel 100% confident because it was new people, I didn't know anyone. So in a sense I come in with that confidence which I didn't have and just put that on as a front, and then until I started to like actually get to know people and feel more comfortable, that confidence is then being built throughout, if that makes sense.
Fake it till you make
Fake
it.
it till you make
That's
it.
exactly-
Fake it till you make it.
It is
Yeah.
100% true, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh. I'll keep coming to pass you the mic just in case. So you are who you watch. How can following the right people genuinely improve your mindset and confidence? So this is for all. I'll tell you what, there you go.
Am I going first, am I?
Yes. How can following the right people?
It's probably a hard one for me because for me, social media is 100% a one-way thing. In a sense, I put out, I don't take anything back. I don't engage anything. I don't really scroll through. I don't watch many other people. If I do watch people, it's like specific, very specific. And I think that's probably the answer. Keep it to people who firstly have the same sort of message, what you believe in, because then you're not going to be getting wound up, which I used to do in the past, seeing people posting stuff that I really don't like. So keep it positive. If you're seeing something on your feed that you don't like, remember, it's your feed. You 100% control that world. If there's people in there that are making you feel negative in your own personal space, get rid of them. Because what use is it? Why would you want to open up your phone when you're sitting at home to see things that are going to make you feel in a negative way? Follow people who are more intelligent than you. Every single person I do engage with is a far better coach than I am. They know far better, they're more academic, they are more in tune with research. Everyone that I do engage with can offer me something. And so much, especially with social media now, it's so much fluff. Like there's very little value. Whereas I know you were the same. Like when I first started, I was very much a YouTuber person. And I feel like there was a lot more depth to what the content that was put out there. Now everything's designed to be short, sharp, and grab your attention, but it offers very little value. So yeah, try to find people who don't put you in a negative headspace and also provide value in the content.
I'll just read the question again for you, just in case. How can following the right people genuinely improve your mindset and confidence?
I think it goes back to like that thing of the 5 people you surround yourself is like how you are, if that makes sense. So I think definitely has influence, especially if you are constantly on social media, like flicking through and stuff like that. You're right with what you're saying as well, Dan. Like what you consume is down to like what you're watching and engaging with. So if you're liking stuff that you don't like, it's going to pop up again and again, if that makes sense. But I do think social media has a massive influence on people now because of how much people use it, how they use that to like interact with each other. But yeah, it is massive, social media.
Gaffer? So, question again, how can following the right people genuinely improve your mindset and confidence?
Because I think if you follow the right people, you're kind of digesting the right information for yourself. Like obviously what these two have said, if you're following a load of shit that you don't agree with or put you in a negative mindset, then it's going to take you further away. Whereas if you're following people who you agree with or who you resonate with, I think resonation's quite a big one. Like you can take encouragement and inspiration from people. I think like the resonation thing's a big one for me. Like if I watch someone and I like resonate with what they're saying and I listen to more of what they're saying, it's like, fucking hell, like, yeah, if you can do that, like, yeah, I can do that. Do you know what I mean?
You see, I think the other trap is it forces people to feel like they need to fit into a box in the sense of how often do you say, like, one person will post a particular type of content, and then someone else will try and replicate it, and it's all just repetition of the same sort of, like, you see all the time with all the happy clapper shit, which I know annoys you, but it's like, it's all just imitation, because that's how people think you should portray yourself
Yeah.
on social media, and then you're not actually getting a genuine version of anyone.
Can you think of content that's helped you grow physically, mentally, or professionally? You've got the mic.
Specific content.
Or or even a person. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be like a person who's helped you grow physically, mentally, professionally. Because I mean, like for me, I can straight away think back over the years of, obviously, DeFranco was a big one for me, and Dan, like, because that was the YouTube days. Gary V, like, he was like a big influence for me for the marketing side of things. James Smith, in a way, for me, because of how he used to break down scientific topics to deliver to the everyday person, and that's helped me to deliver it a lot easier to clients.
Do you know what it is? I can't pinpoint any specific person. Like, I used to read a lot of books when I was younger, and it was always like the Richard Branson books. It was the Simon Cowell books. It was Tim Ferriss. It was like Felix Dennis.
It was a good book, that one. I drew all over it, like, inside.
Like, there's so many bits and pieces. I take bits away. Like, one of the biggest things for me that I've, like, and it's fucking ridiculous, really, but Richard Branson talking about going to meetings in a fucking sweatshirt. And, like, I remember going to meetings, right, and I used to say it because people were like, are you wearing that to the meeting? And he'd be like, can I do my job? Yes. Does it fucking matter what I'm wearing? No. If they've got a problem with it, that's on them.
I mean, she's wearing a blanket for a podcast.
No, it's Ross's jacket. And his feet are like icicles there. Fucking cold in here. But yeah, like, I take different bits. Like, that's one of my main takeaways from fucking Richard Branson. Do you know what I mean? It's, if you think about it, it's absolutely ridiculous, but that's been a massive thing for me, because I was always, like, in the realm that I was in before, it was like, you should be suited and booted, you should look a certain way, you should present yourself in a certain way. And, like, obviously for quite some time now, I've been kind of going against the grain of that. Like, I'm not what people expect, like, in any way. I never have been. From back in my corporate days, like, that should be me. If I'm doing my job and I know I'm doing my job, and I'm doing it well, fucking doesn't matter if I swear. Doesn't matter if I wear certain clothes. Doesn't matter if I've got tattoos all over. Like, really? Really?
Not this day and age.
What was the original question again? Oh, like, different people. And, like, obviously, Molly Galbraith of later. I followed her stuff, which was a lot to do with the female coaching side of things. I agree with a lot of the things that she says. Some of her stuff I find fluffy. It's just how I feel. I did find that I got quite taken with Diary of a CEO podcasts, but actually, like, the more I think on them, the more I'm actually completely against them now. I mean, don't get us wrong, the latest, the podcast with
Loved
the Stacey Sims and et al. I'm going to say Stacey Sims et al. Because I can't remember the names. Where they were talking about the menopause and perimenopause and hormones, fucking absolutely blew me mind. Groundbreaking for women. Like, that's the biggest positive of this year. Like, fucking menopause movement, like, 100%. But yeah, a lot of these stuff now, everyone's got such big messages and big viewpoints, and it could literally, if you only ever watch Diary of a CEO, you could go from being fucking keto to being on GLP-1s to following fucking God knows what. Like, you would flip and change because it's always got such a strong big case because he's got these big personalities on. And obviously the snippets that he shares, it's like, of all of them crying. It's like, that's the snippets that catches your attention. Like, I had some Simon Cowell. And it's like, what the fuck's that got to do with it? Like, you like, honing in on that point. I've proper gone off on tangent.
I was going to say,
sorry.
I've never been a massive fan of him, but Was that the one that Lane Norton was on?
Yes, it was.
And obviously, like someone who I've followed for years, I think adds massive value to the industry. And there was like one section of the podcast where they got talking about his dad or something, and he's crying, and that was the only clip he shared everywhere. And it's just like, you do not care about the message you're putting out. All you care about is how many people you can get watching that video, and you just think, nah, not for me. I think an example with the social media thing of for me, I don't have the time or the aptitude to be at the absolute forefront of research coming out. Like I can't. How could you possibly be it? So I've got like a selection of maybe 10 people who I follow who do that. That is their job. They're far more intelligent than me. And as soon as anything comes out that's worth knowing about, that's worth looking into, it's there. And then I can take their lead and I can go and look into myself. I mean, for example, that book I sent you.
Yeah.
I seen someone post that on Instagram. Look, this is good. This is new research. It's something that's important. It's worth reading. Right, bang, ordered, and you got it. And it's like, how else would you find this information?
From Dan telling us about it.
Yeah, but do you know? But it's like, it's true. It's like you have to be getting that from somewhere, and that's something that, answering the original question, that's something that I use it for. It's like I wouldn't know how else to get that stuff that early on without these people to put me onto it.
It's like I follow all of the people now from that Diary of a CEO podcast, like all the women who were on there, and I just love it. Like Stacey Sims is an absolute boss. Like she's class.
I think there's only Emily who hasn't answered that one. Can you think of content that helps you grow physically, mentally, or professionally?
So specific people, the first two people that come to mind was Jordan Peterson and Dr. Joe Dispenza, but they're more so around like the mindset side of stuff. So like Jordan Peterson's philosophy really molded me like from quite young. I think I started listening to Jordan Peterson when I was about 13, and like the way he describes the philosophy on like your mindset and how you think about certain situations and the way you can like change your mindset around things, that's always stuck with us. And then the Dr. Joe side of it, more so around like, not so much manifestation, because I'm not too sure how I feel about manifestation, but like in terms of what you believe is what you get, if that makes sense. So if you believe in something so passionately, that will like kind of mold in your life, if that makes sense. I can see Sarah wanting the mic.
I want to know if you've read The Secret.
No, I actually haven't.
Read it.
Okay.
Manifest your dreams.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think like what you believe in is a massive, massive thing for you. Like it does really mold the way your life is, if that makes sense. So them two people have been like a massive influence from like quite young for me.
I like Jordan B. Peterson.
Yeah. I love him. Is he? Yeah.
We'll go and visit him, eh? What was his book?
And
Like his latest each.
13 rules.
I can't remember what the back end of it was.
For life or something, yeah. Did you read that hardback or have you?
No, I watched a YouTube video.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so it's about
Like
a 2-hour-long YouTube video on all 13 rules.
So I think you tried to read it and I tried to read it and it was heavy, like to read. But then I actually audio booked it and it was quite heavy. But then like it was actually really good.
I don't listen to audiobooks. I like to read them because I digest them, but I have to be in the right headspace to read certain books. Certain books, if they're that heavy, I'll put them to one side and I'll go on to something lighter. I need to go back to that one really, realistically, to finish it.
So how important is it to see people who are a few steps ahead, not a million?
Good.
I think for like us, this is a big one with like the online and stuff. For example, it's like if we're looking at online coaches who have 1 million followers, what they're doing isn't going to work for me. Like, or for us, like we can't have the same business model because we don't have anywhere near the same reach. So if you're constantly like looking out there, it's pointless. You can't gain anything from it. Like you said, you need to be looking at people who are where you could be in the next 6 months to a year. What are they doing and how can I implement some of those strategies into what I'm doing? It's definitely something, certainly when we first started with the online, that I think we both probably did. You're like, right, who's great at this? Look at them and say, wait, doesn't fucking, it's useless. It's no point. It's like saying I'm going to start lifting and then seeing what Eddie Hall's lifting and thinking, like it needs to be scalable, definitely. And I think for clients, it's like you want to be, so much of the information that's on social media is aimed towards the top, say, 5%. Like, it's physique competitors, it's people who are right up there. And if normal people, everyday people are digesting that information, it's useless to them. They need to be getting the information that is tailored towards people in their position, because this is why people have that disconnect of, I need to be living like a fit pro, when actually you just need to be walking 10,000 steps a day.
I think even from a coaching perspective, like when I'm coaching people on steps, I'm looking at the average steps across the week and hitting 1,000 or 2,000 steps. Like, and I'll give them like a 5,000 step target, and it's always, I've always said it's if you're standing at the bottom of the mountain and you're fucking looking at the top, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. And I think also where you were talking about delayed gratification on the previous podcast.
No.
The last
ruined it all.
podcast. The
This
last
Diary of a CEO. We're not
the
looking a
last-
million steps ahead.
the last podcast we recorded, talking about delayed gratification. If people are looking at the top of the mountain and they're not going to let themselves relax or acknowledge the wins until they get to the top, they're going to fucking give up straight away. So it's always like, if you're always looking at that big goal all of the time, you're going to lose momentum. You're going to give up. You're kind of setting yourself up to fail. Like, to look at someone who's just 3 steps ahead, it's like, I can do that.
So for me, like an example of that was with the Instagram stuff. So I started off behind yous all because I had the youngest account. So it's like, right, well, I want to beat each of yous. And that's my first goal. I don't know who's next. I think you might be next on my list.
Yeah, you took
But
you took over Jordan.
But it's like, I'm not going to aim for like someone with 1 million followers. It's like, right, well, I'm going to beat you and then I'm going to beat you, because that's actually something that I can realistically achieve.
And by the way, I know this about Dan, so I'm trying to like up mine as well. Like, it's like our squats.
I've literally been on a mission for the last few weeks to get me, the people I'm following, down to the same level. So I've got a fresh start in the new year.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like you have covered what I was going to say, but I think the main thing is looking at how all them little steps eventually add up into like a big step that you've accomplished. So like, it's pointless you're looking at like where you want to be in like 5 years time, which it's great to have that in mind, but I think the little steps on a weekly basis to like a 3 month to 6 month basis is probably better to start with than looking that far ahead, because it's not realistic for you in that point. But then if you're doing all the little steps, they eventually add up to become that big step.
I think one of you said about like clients should be looking at the more normal everyday coaches who have been through it themselves, rather than that fitness physique model, because that is like a million steps away. And like, but these coaches, I suppose I get that's why like a lot of people who do have the warehouse gyms and stuff like that aren't fitness models in a way. Like when I've been to like events or whatever else, like when we've been to seminars with all the other coaches and that, you would look in the room and you wouldn't think like, this isn't a room full of coaches. It's like they look quite normal. And do you know what I mean? And I suppose they attract the everyday person. And I think that's who obviously people look up to. And I suppose that's why they work generally well, because they are relatable.
I think also it's very hard to be a very good coach and also be right at that peak level, in a sense of the time and the dedication, the effort it requires to be like right up there. It's almost impossible to then run the business and do everything else alongside it. Something has to go, and eventually, like seeing you at a gym owners convention or whatever it is, all of those people at some point have made the decision to prioritize their business and their coaching over themselves, and that's obviously reflected in the room.
What's an example of someone who made you think, if they can do it, maybe I can too? So I know from me, like there's what's he called? Ollie Marchon? Is that his name? Yeah. March on gyms and all the rest of it. I fucking don't like anything to do, whatever else. Like, it's not my training philosophies or anything like that. But I always use him as an example, because he's like, how the fuck is he doing it? Like, how's he doing this? How's he doing that? And I respect him. I'm not resentful or jealous or anything like that, I actually really look up to him, even though I don't like his stuff. But it's like I always look at, well, how is he doing that? How's he like and stuff? I mean, I don't even follow him, to be fair, but he is one of those examples of where, like, it's how do they do it?
I think like I'm a massive believer that like hard work's the answer to everything, and that anything anyone has, the only reason that they've got it is just because they've worked harder. And it's like in my head, I'm like, I'm willing to work as hard as anyone. So if they can get there, why can't I? And I'd see that in anywhere I say I don't, I always just think, well, if they can do it, I can. Not for any other reason than the fact that I just think, well, it's just a case of time and effort.
Second that, yeah, like. Second that. But no, yeah, like anything is realistically possible if you put in the work for it.
I wouldn't say there was anyone in particular. Like, I want to third it.
Yeah.
But
Who
no,
made
it
you
is
think-
though, because it is. It's like, it is that there isn't anyone in particular who I look at and if they can, I can. Because at the end of the day, it does boil down to the work that I'm willing to put in. Like, if I do look, I mean, fuck me, I always say I want to look like a CrossFitter, but I'm never gonna do CrossFit. Like, I'm not willing to do that work to get that result. I see people do. I've touched on it before, like bikini contests, like bodybuilding contests. Like, I'd love to look like that for a day, but I'm not willing to do the work to get there. I'm not willing to make the ultimate sacrifices that they do make to get there. So, like, yeah.
I think from a psychological point of view, it's such an important lesson to learn, because how often do people try to make excuses outside of that? It's genetics, it's this. Just say, I'm not willing to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. It's perfectly acceptable to say, like, I'd love to have it, but I'm just not willing to live like that. And people are so frightened to admit that they'll come up with a multitude of excuses and reasons why they can't or don't do it. When actually just say, I'm just not motivated enough to achieve that goal.
The thing is, it's like, I'm not work shy. I fucking work hard. But going on to into a bodybuilding contest, right? It's hard work, but I think it's the sacrifices that they have to make. Like, if I was to go into a bodybuilding show, I've got the work ethic. Am I going to give up my nights with me Ben to go and do extra steps or do an hour of cardio on top of me steps? No, I'm not. It's not that I've got a bad work ethic. It's just actually my priorities are just different. People need to realise that it's not just... I think they feel worried that people will judge them on the work ethic by admitting that they're not willing to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, well, no, it's not your work ethic, because you might have that there. It's the sacrifices you're not willing to make for whatever reason because of your priorities. Fucking own them.
I think it's like that thing of like, it's so easy when you work in the fitness industry, like for you to say, right, well, because I'm a female coach, there's therefore an expectation that I should want to achieve that, but I don't really want to do it. So then you've got to come up with a reason why you don't want to do it, rather than just saying, well, no, I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any sort of expectation to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, might be legs to you, and you might have got, yeah, it is, I can't be asked. It's all right. Rabbit holes, the negative side. So when does self-improvement content stop being helpful and start becoming overwhelming? She's fucking got them talons out ready.
It depends on the mindset you're in. So if you're in a little bit of a negative rut and like things feel a little bit overwhelming anyway, I think it can add that pressure. Like, I think it has its benefits when you're in a good mindset and you're feeling like able to accomplish certain things. But I do think that added pressure when you're not in a good headspace, that's when it's not beneficial for you. Yeah.
Yes. So when does self-improvement content stop being helpful and start becoming overwhelming? I mean, like, I think Emily's right. Like, if you're in a bad mindset, like, but then I see people who's in a bad mindset. Let's use the anxiety word. I'm always anxious. So then they start watching people who are like, I've got anxiety too, and and it's a compounding problem. And then they continue to, like, for any other things, like if you're down about anything and you start watching stuff down about that, then it's just this compounding fucking thing. And it's like, you've got to, well, not watch it in a way, if we are saying about the content side of things.
You're going to have to say the question again.
When does self-improvement content stop being helpful and start becoming overwhelming?
When you start seeing every area of your life as something that you need to self-improve on. Simple as that. Like, if you start thinking a self-help thing like, oh, well, yeah, that might help us a little bit, and then that might help us a bit, and then that might help us a bit, and that might help us a bit, and that might help us a bit, and then everything's suddenly a problem. Like, you've started to watch self-help stuff to improve your mindset, but then all of a sudden, because there's so many different platforms as well. There's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube. There's so many different things, and everyone's got an opinion, and all these self-help things actually become just lists. If you are identifying X, Y, and Z, you've got anxiety, you've got ADHD, you've got depression, you've got fucking...
You're not a
man. You're not a man. You're not a woman. You're a fucking mass murderer. Like, if you watch enough shit, you can believe that you've got all of these problems. I could read lists and I've got everything wrong with us. It's like that Google. You know when you're poorly?
Dr. Google.
Dr. Google. Read this. You know when you've got, there's something not quite right with you, so you start Googling it, and all of a sudden, you've got fucking 3 months to live. It is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it is. And when you are diagnosed with something, you Google it, and your prognosis, like, your fucking chances of surviving it are absolutely minimal. You go down these rabbit holes and you start self-diagnosing and you start catastrophizing, and then suddenly everything that's actually right with you is wrong.
I think it's like, depends what you're looking for, because are you watching these things for motivation or for justification? Because if you're just looking to find reasons to justify problems, you don't need reasons. Do you know what I mean? It's like so many people say, like, the diagnosis thing, this is because of this and this is because of this. No, it's because you're normal. Because everyone's got flaws, everyone's got problems, everyone's got things that they should do and don't do. It's fine. I think this is where, like, people of influence maybe need to be a little bit more honest, because we all burn out. We all do too much. Like, as much as we're like, oh, it's great, we get up early, we do this, like, it does have an effect. We're all human, and burning the candle at both ends inevitably affects everyone. But it's when, like, people try to pretend that, like, what do you mean you're tired? It's normal. And, like, it makes it hard, because everyone should just maybe be a little bit more honest. I think a duty of care kind of does come when you have that influence to be like, yeah, I do all this, but, like, it has an effect. I have bad days as well. And so often that goes missing. Like, when it's taken to an extreme, like, you look like a David Goggins or something, and it's just so ridiculous. It's like, who the fuck does that benefit in any way, shape, or form? And yeah, I think honesty from people of influence is a big thing. And if you're not getting that from the people you're watching, if all you're hearing is just how hard they work and how great they are without any of the honesty behind it, then it's probably not a great person to be engaging with.
It's a lot of mental masturbation, isn't it? Like, the self-improvement one, obviously, where it becomes overwhelming is like, I mean, we knew like a coach who became more of a mindset-y coach, and then it was like about becoming fucking a better man and a better this and a better that, and it's like, it was this never-ending breath work and all the rest of it, and it's like, how far do you need to go before you can tell yourself it's all right? Because at the end of the day, you don't need... Yes, do the work on yourself. Do you know what I mean? They're like, I'm not saying anything against that. Like I obviously journal as well, but it's how far do you keep needing to go and keep watching all of these people, like, and the ice baths and this and this and this and this and this, until you're like, I'm actually all right. When you were probably all right to begin with, you were probably just sad, and you watched a fucking podcast about someone telling you fucking... yeah.
It's like,
I can't before I go into, like...
Yeah. It's not okay to be sad anymore. It's like, you can't just be sad anymore. It's got to be so many... there's got to be a reason for it. Like, sometimes there's no reason for it. You're just a bit sad. Like, that's fine. That's fucking normal. It's human nature. And I think also we need to be careful with these self-help things, how much of it is actually people passing off, projecting is the right word. How much of it is people projecting their thing? Because I think I know which coach you're talking about. Like, how much of that was a projection of what he was personally going through at that time, and then suddenly that was something that he needed to fix for every other man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then it becomes because it's a projection. It then becomes when some men are watching it, because they're wanting advice or guidance or whatever else, they start thinking, I'm not a real man because I'm not doing this. Oh my God, right, okay, I need to start doing this. I need to look into that. And then it becomes this fucking absolute tidal wave of things that they're finding wrong with themselves. And actually, there's fuck all wrong with them. There's they've just watched the wrong thing at the wrong time, and suddenly the life's spiraling, or the wrong person's told them something about themselves that's their opinion. Like, really, do you believe that you are that person? And what if you asked another 10 people if that's you? What would the other 10 people say? They'd probably say it was a fucking load of shit. Like, you're not that person. So don't take it on board and suddenly start overwhelming yourself with all these self-help videos that are just going to literally grind you into the ground.
The thing to remember is, like, ultimately, what is these people's job? Their job is to sell you something, and the only way they can sell you their thing is by making you feel that you need it. The whole purpose of everything they're putting out there is to make you feel a specific way so they can then sell you the thing that fixes that problem. And I think we've been tricked into believing, like, thinking about the thing doesn't replace doing the thing. And so much of, like, we've been fooled into believing that, like, the answer to everything is just thinking about everything more and just living in your head. No, the answer to all your problems is doing shit in real life. Like, I can think of so many successful people I know, and not a single one of them's ever read a self-help book in their life. Half of them couldn't even read. They just turn up and work hard. It's true, though. They just turn up and graft. Yeah. And it's like, just thinking about stuff doesn't replace doing shit. And you're misplacing your energy, because we've all been tricked into thinking that this is the answer. But the problem is, the reason all these successful people are saying, this is what I do, and this is what I think, and this is what's wrong with you. But if you buy my book, it'll fix your problem. They're trying to make money. They're trying to sell you something. They're trying to sell you a dream off the back of their success. But they didn't get that success by doing what they're selling you.
They only did that towards the end. So the ice baths or whatever else, the self-improvement stuff, right? They've only just started doing that, but they go, oh, it's brilliant, and this is how I've made my money. But it isn't. They fucking grinded whatever else. They cracked the fuck on.
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have had time to do any of that shit when they were trying to make the money. We just don't.
But it's like uni, really, isn't it? It's like you go to uni to learn all these things to get the fucking mint job that you want, but when you actually get out in the real world and the practicality of that job, it's completely fucking different. You don't actually get anywhere with it until you start doing it. You can learn everything in the world, but unless you apply it and work on it, it's pointless.
Have you ever noticed comparison creeping in from social media or podcasts? Give it to Emily straight in. There you go. She was dying for it there.
I feel like I've always been like that until like recent. Like, I think it's easy for you to compare because of how much there is out there on social media, and like the way social media presents it to you as well. Like, it isn't the reality of it a lot of the time. So I do feel I have been in a position where I've done that, but I think over this last year or so, I have been delving more into myself and like getting rid of that outside noise, not looking on social media, not scrolling through, because it doesn't have that like positive impact when you're in that headspace of comparing. But I think the main thing is like knowing who you are as a person, like actually valuing you, not from other people's voices or opinions or how it's perceived to like be a certain way, if that makes sense. So I would say like I've been there, but I'm slowly trying to like develop myself in a way that I don't do that. I mean, it isn't easy, and I think there is times where it does creep back in. But I think limiting the time you spend just scrolling through social media is a massive thing, because you'll just sit there and you will compare like because of what is out there. But yeah.
I think it's always tough for like female coaches like your Perry is like not to compare, because that's inherently what women do naturally. Like, you're out like we always use the night out. It's like one of them comes with the fucking feathers and all lads are like, oh, like that. And he's like, well, should I dress like that? Should I do this? Should I do that? I'm like, right, well, is this where I get cancelled again?
I think men
No.
are just as bad. So,
Yeah, but we like seeing men's big arms, don't we?
speak for yourself.
It's like we've always had this conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get cancelled for it.
No.
Like women make their decisions and do things, and because of the opinions of other women, not men. I think that's the reality. And if anyone says that I'm wrong, I'll quite happily debate it with you. But I think men also do the same for men. Like, you're checking out other men's arms,
Yeah.
and then you like point them out to me,
Yeah.
and I'll say like a woman, I go, should I look like that? Should I dress like that? Should I do this? And it's like,
What, like the big man?
no.
Oh, okay. I don't know
like-
you're dressing like a big man.
Sure, I said
What?
other women.
Oh,
Like, I'll see another woman. Like,
Oh.
like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
do,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, but actually, one of the main reasons women do compare is because women are bitches. Fuck me. Like, they are. Like, women get all the work done to the faces because other women have made comments. It's not the fucking men. As much as some women might want to project onto a man and say it's a man that's made me feel like this, bet you if you sat and asked them the turning point, when did you start getting Botox? When did you start getting your lip fillers? When did you start doing this, that and the other? It's a comment from another woman.
It's a protection mechanism, though, isn't it?
Nonsense.
Like to be bitchy and to deflect like negativity to somebody else. You're trying to sort of deflect it away from yourself, your own flaws. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think it is a defense mechanism.
But yeah, I know obviously the big saying's comparison's the thief of joy. I'm obviously an older female in the fitness realm. It is fucking hard. I'm getting less bothered now, I think. I am.
I don't think you've been that, but like some of the shit you post, like I don't think you've been that bothered. But internally, yes, you have been bothered.
Like internally, internally is the worst one though. That's what everyone's got to live with and listen to. So if
I've got to listen to it.
you don't fucking listen to
I
it,
do.
you switch off.
Sorry, man.
What do you want that for? What do you want to do that for? Sorry, man. But it is like the internal, especially being older, is like I don't look like that anymore. I used to look young.
I think the problem with social media is it's the 1% of the 1%. In the sense, like, I think if you're like, I don't know, if you're training in your group of 8 and you one of the lads lifts heavier than you, I think it's healthy to be like, oh, I want to catch him. But say you go on social media and there's like a 16-year-old squatting 300 kilogram. It's like, but it's like, it's so ridiculous and obscene. Like, there's freaks in the world, but because you see so much of it, it makes it seem normal. But these people account for such a teeny tiny percentage of the human population. But it's just because it's all condensed, and inevitably because they're freaky, we all love a freak show, everybody follows them, they gain more traction, which means you see more of them. It makes it feel like that level of extraordinary ability is almost normal. And of course it's not healthy because most people aren't freaks. Most people don't have anywhere near that level of athletic ability or potential or anything. So like, if you're going to compare yourself to anyone, compare yourself to the people around you in real life, because that's a far more realistic example of the world than the people you see on social media.
I think I've started getting better at rationalising things as well. Like, if I logically look at some of the people who I would say look at and go, oh, they're so young, they're so attractive, they're like perfect, they're in fucking brilliant shape and stuff like that. Like, sometimes I'll just look and I'll go, what have I got that they don't? And I'll go, actually, for most of the population, relatability. Like, I am a bit older. I have had a kid. Like, I've been through that. Fucking, I'm just normal. I own a house. I've got me bills. I mean, this isn't dissing them in any way because everyone offers something different. But when I'm comparing myself to a 20-year-old who's fucking lush, like, I'm just thinking, like, relatability wise, I'm going to appeal to people like me of my age. Like, that 20-year-old probably isn't going to have as much of a relatability factor if someone my age on, like, they're still living at home, the meals are cooked off the parents, they haven't got responsibilities and stuff like that. Totally changes everything. So then I feel less bad because it's like I've got that going for us.
I think, like, if I bumped into someone who I didn't know personally, who only knew me through social media, I wouldn't expect them to like us. For the simple reason, of course, you're only, like, I'm honest, like I say, of course you're posting the good stuff, You're going to post your best pictures. You're going to post everything's good. And if all anyone ever sees is this perfect persona of you, which social media always is, why the fuck would they like you? Like, I wouldn't expect anybody to, and it's the same for anybody else, because we look at them and inevitably you see how perfect they are because social media is perfection. And then that it creates resentment towards this person. But it's only because we need to recognize what social media is rather than attacking the people or harnessing feelings towards them. Just give yourself a reality check of what it actually is. Because you're not gonna like that person because it's perfection. And who likes perfect people? No one.
I like looking at them.
I suppose this is why one of the reasons why we do the podcast, because people get to actually see the real us. We're not trying to pretend to be anything. Like,
I don't feel like I do that on my socials anyway.
no, you don't exactly, but that's a good thing. I mean, I think I'll just reread the question, like, just in case if you ever notice comparison creeping in from social media or podcasts. Yeah, that was the answer. Yes. What happens when people consume content that constantly tells them they're behind or not enough?
I think it depends on the person. It depends on your own. It depends how you take and perceive that type of influence. Like, I think if I see stuff like that makes me feel like I want more, I don't feel it affects us negatively. It doesn't make us feel inferior. It doesn't put us down. It doesn't make us want to give up. It makes us want to keep going. And it's like, if you're someone who finds motivation from that, great. Like, it's not a bad thing. But if you're somebody who it shrinks you rather than grows you, then it is negative. And you've got to learn what type of person you are and how you respond to individual stimuluses, because we're all different. It isn't one size fits all. Two people could read the same post. One could go away literally feeling this big and wanting to give up on everything. The other could be like, yes, I'm going to go and attack the world. And like with most things, we're terrible for blaming the world for how the world makes us feel. And how things make us feel is down to us, because it's all individual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Happy with that one.
Choice.
Yes, it is. It's a choice, 100%.
Because even there where you're saying like two people might look at something and interpret it completely different to the other. Like, I might read something one day and interpret it one way and make a choice to take it positively. And if on another day I might read it completely different and it might send us in the other direction.
And I think the important thing is there's nothing the matter with that either.
No.
Like, if something makes you feel shit, there's nothing the matter with it. But just recognise it. It's just a feeling. It's okay.
How easy is it to adopt someone else's belief without questioning if they actually fit your life? How easy is it to adopt someone else's belief without questioning if they actually fit your life?
I think that can be quite easy.
I'll tell you what, just of recent 2 years, who was like a sort of a big influence who, crazy how fucking mental it went. Eddie. Do you know what I mean? How many people adopted his belief systems, even though like everything what he's saying, like that kind of data was like 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how people were like that was like a big rage, but he managed to spin this fucking thing, and it's like, what are you fucking talking about?
I think so many people don't know themselves, in the sense of they don't know what they want, so they end up following what other people want. And you see it so often. It's like the house, the fancy car, this, that, and the other, the debt, and it's just constantly keeping up with the Joneses, chasing each other, basically engaging in what you think is the way you're supposed to live life, the things that are supposed to motivate you, the things you're supposed to want. And most people never actually find out what they want. And it's such a massive thing, because it ends up making you miserable, because you constantly chase the next thing, you get the next thing doesn't actually fill the void. and you never ever improve, and you just end up in a worse position because you inevitably accumulate more debt, more things, which puts more pressure on, which then affects your relationships. And it's like, if you just realise in the first place, like, actually having a really fancy, nice car doesn't do fuck all for us. Having 3 extra bedrooms, it doesn't do now for us. Having a great relationship, being able to travel, being able to not worry about bills, yeah, that makes me feel great. And how many people ever actually get to the point of recognising that? Especially now, it's getting worse and worse.
I think people want. I think obviously what Ross has touched on, like the social media and how people have influenced and people changing, and then obviously you with the materialistic side of things and like people constantly trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I think the first thing that you said was about people not knowing themselves and not knowing what they want. I think there's that much out there that confuses people into believing that they are something that they're not, that they become so stuck and fixated on that thing that they start to then completely change who they are, and they completely lose sight of what they want, who they are, what they value, and they try and change everything about themselves for. I mean, people will do that in relationships as well. Like, people will say, like, I love this person, I love them, I love them, I love them. What do they want me to be? And they'll start changing the personality and who they are because they think that they're broken and they're wrong. And they're not broken and they're not wrong. They've unfortunately fallen in love with someone who doesn't value and respect them as they are. And then they try and completely overhaul themselves, and then they start to like think, well, who actually am I? And it's a trap that I think people fall into all of the time. And I think it's quite easy to do, especially if you're not sure of yourself and what you want out of life. Or you start to convince yourself that you want something in life, and then when you actually get it, you're like, well, the fuck, I didn't want this.
And I think inevitably with social media, it's so fleeting in a sense of like, someone will get themselves in 5 years worth of debt to post a picture of, look at my new car, which people go, oh, I look at their new car. You scroll out and no one's paying any attention, but so much of what we do with our lives is formulated around that. And yeah, it's not great, is it?
What was the question?
How easy is it to adopt someone else's beliefs without questioning if they actually fit your life?
Yeah, I think it is massively about what you have said, in the sense of like not knowing like what you want yourself. But from when I've spoken to like a lot of older people, because I'm like young, but when I speak to older people and I'm like stuck in a position where I don't know what I want, everyone else seems to say the same thing, and it doesn't seem that anyone knows really what they want, no matter what age you are. So
We're all winging it.
yeah, literally. Yeah.
It's the funniest thing about getting older, in a sense of like, when you're, I don't know, 20, you look at 30-year-olds and you think, fucking hell, they're adults, have got the shit together. Then you get there and you're like, what the fuck? Everyone's running around like a fucking headless chicken.
I still feel like a teenager.
I think like even I've gone through that transition. Obviously, I'm nearly 40 now, which makes us actually sick in my mouth. But like, I feel like I was fortunate. I always say I was fortunate. I fucking worked for it. But I was fortunate enough to realise relatively young what I wanted in life. But I still have these fleeting moments, don't I? So when I was 21, I was managing a business, I was driving a fucking Porsche, I lived in a brand new house, the mortgage was ridiculous. I wasn't in a relationship I was happy in. But I thought this is what everyone wanted. They want the fucking flash car, they want the brand new house, they want the relationship. They want the money, they want the job, they want the things. And it was very much about things. And I think it wasn't until I got to a point of like, I got out of the relationship I wasn't happy in. I got into a relationship I was happy in. Fucking, I had like my financial situation massively changed. And it was like, do you know what? I'm happier fucking in a little house with me little car. Like, I know I haven't got a little car now, but like, no, like I downsized my car.
Yeah.
Like, I am happier now with the thought of, actually, I feel like at the minute I haven't got a pot to piss in. I still had a roof over my head. I was still buying food, but I was happier, and it wasn't the things. And like, even now I'll say to Ross, like, oh, look at that car. I really like that car. And he's like, do you really want it, or would you rather go on holiday? Or go on another holiday? And it's like, actually, I'd rather go on another holiday. And I still have these fleeting thoughts back to things that I'd been brought up to believe were important because my stepdad was massively money orientated. But the reality is, the moments and the holidays, every penny I got will go towards holidays because that's what I love. With me family, having moments, making memories. That's what I want.
I mean, I don't have the data to hand, but I think like when they've done like happiness studies and stuff in the past, it's like proven time and time again, the less people have, the higher they score on those sorts of studies because they don't have anything, so they place more emphasis on personal relationships, which is inevitably more fulfilling. So yeah, if you want to be happier, have less.
My brother's like that, isn't he? My brother's like just absolutely satisfied with his life. He goes to work, comes home, loves his house, loves going to Lanzarote for 5 weeks a year, doesn't he? He does 3 weeks at Christmas now at this, and then he can away another 2 weeks or another maybe 2 weeks, doesn't he? Across the year, he's just that's it. Doesn't have big aspirations, anything like that, and he's just happy as fuck, isn't he? He's just not. That's it. He's got what he wants. He's probably one of the happiest blokes I know. Laid back the fuck.
It is. It's so easy to see all of the stuff on social media of like, this is what you should be aspiring to be and aspiring to have. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, like if you don't value it, what's the point? Like you have to, I think people just do need to start actually realising what they want and who they are. It's actually all right if you don't want things that other people want because every fuck is different.
It's that story about the man who's fishing, isn't it? Man fishing. Rich guy comes next to him like oh, you like good at fishing, blah blah blah. You should get a boat, like, and then get like more boats, and then get people to run your business for you, blah blah blah. But like, and he says, "Well, why would I do all that? Well, so you can sit back and like have drinks with your friends." He says, "But that's what I do now." Right. So keep this light one and fun. I'm going to go give it the mic round to question after question, yes. So instead of all three of us answering, because we are well over. I know, but I know you've got to get back as well. Get back to work. Oh, I thought it was 12. It doesn't matter. Right. What's the worst advice you've ever seen online?
Cut out bread. Like, I know, the first thing that came to my mind.
Put out bread.
Yeah, like, everyone is fixated on, like, cut out your carbs, cut bread. And, like, people's done it and, like, lost. But that's purely because they've, like, dropped the calories. But, like, it's just crazy. And, like, people believe it.
Sub-question to that, what's your favourite bread?
Ooh, wholemeal seeded. Is it wholemeal? Yeah?
Oh, you pass that to Dan. Pass the next one to Dan. So Dan, what's one trend or belief that made you think this can't be real? Cutting out bread.
It's just any sort of ridiculous extreme. Like I think like the whole carnivore thing at the like you'll never be able to convince me that cutting all vegetables and fruit out of your diet's healthy. It's just lunacy, but it's the current trend.
Pass it to Sarah. If your algorithm exposed you, what would it say about you?
Don't even understand the question.
If your algorithm exposed you, what would it say about
like
you?
what I look at?
Well, obviously, if you open your phone, the algorithm's following you, isn't it?
Well, at the minute, right, on Instagram, it's coming up with like fruit, but that looks like babies. I showed you.
Oh, yes, you did.
Like I showed
that was
you,
brilliant.
I showed you the Satsuma one the other day,
Yeah.
but because I've actually sat and watched that full thing. At the minute, my main thing is
Fruit babies.
fruit babies.
That's mint.
I like watching like cute, daft little things like that.
That's really good, that. Pastor Emily, one belief you've had to unlearn.
Like, you have to have everything figured out. Going back to, like, what we were saying before. Like, you don't. You just live your life. Be present. Enjoy every moment.
Pastor Dan, how can people audit what they're consuming without going extreme?
I think it's just what was said earlier. Just does it add any level of value to your life? Like, are you learning from it? If the answer's yes, great. Does it make you feel good or bad? If it makes you feel bad, get rid. If it makes you feel good, great. And yeah, just stop allowing social media to affect you on such a deep level. like, look at food babies or dog videos or like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be so deep and negative, and just spend less time on it. Just put your phone down and live your life.
Yeah, I think that is just delete the negatives, because that's not going to the extreme of like, I'm fucking having 90 days of social media. Bye everybody. Like, you don't have to go to that extreme. It's just like, if something does, like, you get, oh, for fuck's sake, or somebody. I mean, if it's somebody but you've still got to be friends, you just hide them, don't you?
I must have got rid of about 50 Sunderland fans in the last 4 days. Just for that. Just if I see them pop up, I don't want to see it. So
Yeah.
Won't mess it out.
Wow.
So next one.
Wow.
What's this?
Bloody fall back.
No, but it goes like anything that makes you feel the way you don't want to feel. It's your world. It's like someone walking through your front door.
Yeah.
It's your place. Like, you control it completely.
What's a simple sign that content is helping versus harming?
Should we use meant to be quick fire?
This is a different one.
Helping or harming?
That's why I'm still going around one person each. So.
Helping or harming?
What's a simple sign that content is helping versus harming?
Well, sure, it's how you're feeling yourself. I would say surely it is how you're feeling in yourself. If you're feeling like more and more negative, or like you've got more and more things wrong with you, then that's harming.
I suppose it's hard to see it, isn't it, when it's happening? I think that's the trouble in it.
I think this is where other people come in. Like, you would tell me, you know my state.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I've been looking at things that fucking rile us. Because you'll say, well, you fucking unfollow them, stop watching it. Like, why are you looking at shit? Like, just stop it, pack it in. And I think it takes for other people sometimes to step in and say, you're going down this rabbit hole, and that's going to not, like, an intervention of friends, of people who know you're going down rabbit holes, and that actually what you're going down is harming you more than it's helping you.
How important is real life mentors compared to online ones?
Massively important. The people you have on social media, you're not seeing on a day-to-day. Yeah, you might be sitting on your social media and seeing it, but the people you have around you, you've got that physical connection with, so it'll mean more to you having that person there in real life versus like on a phone that you're not going to see.
I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit more, because I think it's such an important one, because in the past, the people who influence you in your life are the people around you. So your family, your friends, those people don't have an alternative motive. Like your parents, your grandparents, like, they aren't trying to get anything out of you. They just love you. They just want what's best for you. But now you've got social media taking over that role, where everyone's got an ulterior motive. Everything people put out there is for a reason. It's not for no one's best interests, but that's who people allow to shape them. And it's obviously increasingly prevalent with younger generations growing up with social media. It's taking over the role of the people that would traditionally shape you as a person, but it doesn't have your best interests at heart. And I think that's a massive thing for people to be conscious of. It's a business. Almost everything you see posted on social media is for a reason.
Yeah. They're not giving that free content stuff away for nothing. All you got to do is pop that email address in. Nothing more. And you can have my fucking 10 steps to 50k in 90 days. That wasn't an ad, by the way. Like I don't have anything for you. So back to Dania, if you could give one piece of advice to someone younger about influence, what would it be?
I feel like I've just covered that before.
I know you did. Like, yeah, you were saying it there.
I mean, the thing is, how do you tell someone young who's only grown up with it? Because they're just going to think you're an old man, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's like, it's always going to, if you say this, if I said this to a teenager, they're just going to be like, whatever you're just stuck in your ways. But it's like, be shaped by the people around you, not the people that you see. Because like I say, it's they want something, they're trying to create a business, they're trying to monotonize your attention, they're trying to shape you into a version that is beneficial to them, not that's going to be beneficial to you. And yeah, it's like, use it for what it's intended for. Social media is supposed to be lighthearted. It was supposed to be a way to share pictures, to share memories, to share stories, what you're up to to be able to comment on other people's things, and it's evolved into something so far away from that that it just needs to go back over. So yeah, I think the advice would be just be conscious of letting social media shape you.
Yeah. Did you have anything to add there? Or?
No. I'm not going to get started.
Yeah. So if there's one thing we hope people take away from this episode, it's awareness. You don't need to unfollow everyone. You don't need to delete social media. But you do need to understand that what you consume, you slowly become. Your confidence, your standards, your beliefs, they're all being shaped daily. So be intentional. Follow people who challenge you in the right way. Learn from those a few steps ahead. And don't fall into rabbit holes that make you feel smaller instead of stronger. Because whether we like it or not, you are who you watch. That's fucking meant that ending on it. I'm Ross.
I'm Dan.
I'm Sarah.
Emily.
Yay!